Tyler Grant steps off the elevator onto the dimly lit mezzanine level. He's dressed in plain khakis, a simple black polo, and a baseball cap pulled low to hide his eyes. The Grand Lincoln Hotel lobby below him glimmers with polished marble and softly glowing chandeliers, a testament to the chain's success over the last decade. Tyler is the founder and CEO of Grand Lincoln Hospitality, yet tonight he's just another new hire assigned to the graveyard shift. Stories of managerial neglect have reached his ears, complaints about overnight staff feeling undervalued, plus rumors that the Bellhop is struggling under some secret burden. Tyler is determined to see the truth for himself. He takes a slow breath, reminding himself to act natural. He descends the wide staircase to the lobby floor, broom in hand, heart thrumming at the unfamiliar scenario. Normally, he's the one signing paychecks, approving expansions, or shaking hands with investors. Now, he'll be sweeping corridors and delivering room service trays, hoping nobody recognizes him from the occasional feature in business magazines. The night manager on duty, a tall, no-nonsense woman named Victoria, greets him with a clipped "You must be Ty," she says, checking a list on her clipboard. "Maintenance and housekeeping are stretched thin tonight, so you'll handle anything that needs to be swept, mopped, or tidied. If you have questions, ask me, but don't slow down." Her voice is brisk, each word carefully enunciated. Tyler forces a polite smile. "Got it, Ms. Parks." He glances around, noticing how quiet the lobby is at this late hour. Only a few guests linger by the check-in desk. He senses an underlying tension, though. Perhaps it's just the stillness of a nighttime hotel, or maybe something else weighs on the staff. He can't be sure yet. He sets to work, pushing the broom along the glossy floor near a bank of plush chairs, scanning the area for any sign of the elusive bellhop he's heard so much about. Instead, he spots an older custodian kneeling by a scuffed section of tile. She mutters under her breath as if exhausted. Tyler edges closer. "Need a hand there?" "I'm new, but I can help." She looks up, offering a faint smile. "Name's Carol. I heard you're on the night shift. Watch yourself around Victoria. She's strict about rules." Tyler nods. "Noted. By the way, is the bellhop around? I thought I'd meet everyone on the team." Carol stands, stretching her back. Luca is probably upstairs delivering fresh towels. Hard worker, that one. Barely talks about himself, though. Keeps to the background. She sighs. Wish the manager appreciated him more. Tyler picks up a stray napkin from the floor, curiosity growing. "She doesn't?" Carol shrugs. "Victoria's got a lot on her plate, but sometimes she comes down hard on folks. Anyway, if you need me, I'll be buffing the brass railings." She trudges off with a wheeled cart of cleaning supplies, leaving Tyler to wonder what might be going on behind the scenes. He also notes how physically drained Carol appears, as though short-staffed conditions have worn her down over many shifts. Minutes later, as he sweeps near the reception desk, Tyler overhears Victoria scolding a receptionist for allowing guests a slightly late checkout. Her tone is biting. "We can't afford to be lax, Zoe. We lose money every minute they stay past checkout time." Zoe mumbles an apology, eyes flicking toward Tyler with an embarrassed expression, though she remains tight-lipped. Tyler's chest tightens. This certainly isn't the warm, guest-centered atmosphere he envisioned for Grand Lincoln. He continues sweeping, deciding to keep his head down for now. Around midnight, a cluster of late-arriving guests appears at the front doors. The automatic doors slide open, and in steps a family, bleary-eyed from traveling. A young man in a neat bellhop uniform rushes forward, his posture crisp, hair neatly combed. Tyler guesses this must be Luca. The bellhop greets the newcomers with a polite smile, though Tyler senses a shadow of fatigue behind his eyes. "Yes, sir, I can grab those bags," Luca says in a gentle voice. The father in the family mutters a tired "thank you," while two children cling to their mother's arms. Luca efficiently loads the luggage onto a cart, scanning their reservation details on a tablet. Tyler admires how smoothly he handles the process despite the late hour. After they leave for the elevator, Victoria swoops in, impatience etched across her face. "Luca, front desk needs you to handle a suite upgrade request. Hurry." He nods obediently. Right away, Miss Parks! Then he jogs off, vanishing around the corner. Tyler files this moment away in his mind, the manager's clipped command, Luca's subdued response, and wonders what else he'll see as the night progresses. Tyler drifts toward the corridor leading to the conference rooms, broom in hand. This area is dimly lit, giving an almost eerie hush. He notices scattered crumbs by a row of vending machines, presumably from guests sneaking midnight snacks. As he sweeps them into a dustpan, footsteps echo behind him, and he turns to see Luca again, pushing the now empty luggage cart. The young man looks worn, though he attempts a cordial nod. "Hey," Tyler says quietly. "Need a hand? I'm kind of free until the next chore." Luca sets the cart aside, running a hand through his hair. "I'm okay, just busy night stuff, you know." He hesitates, eyes darting around, then adds, "You're new, right? Haven't seen you before." "Yeah, I'm Ty. Guess they stuck me on graveyard shift to see if I can handle it," Tyler jokes lightly, trying to put Luca at ease. "I keep hearing you're the go-to bellhop around here." Luca manages a half-smile. "I try. Been here for a while." Then he grows quiet, as if unsure what else to say. A beep from his tablet draws his attention. He frowns at the screen. "Excuse me. I've got to restock extra pillows on the 12th floor." He wheels the luggage cart away, footsteps echoing on the marble. Tyler watches him disappear, an uneasy sense that Luca might be hiding something heavy behind that polite facade. Heading back toward the lobby, Tyler notices Victoria tapping her foot by the elevator bank, scanning the area with eyes that miss nothing. He overhears her speaking with Carol. "We have a VIP arriving at 1 a.m. The suite must be spotless, no mistakes, Carol, or we'll hear about it from corporate." Carol nods, expression pinched. Tyler wonders if that VIP might cause more tension. For now, he returns to the housekeeping closet, empties the dustpan, and refills a small spray bottle with cleaner. The pace of the shift picks up as the clock edges past 1 a.m. A wave of weary travelers arrives in a taxi needing late check-in. The phone rings repeatedly at the front desk. Tyler sees Luca juggling luggage again, eyes drooping with fatigue. Suddenly, a voice calls out behind him. "Ty, can you do a quick pass in the south corridor? Someone spilled coffee near the ice machine." It's Victoria, arms folded, impatience radiating. He nods. "On my way." She walks off, and he can't help but notice her rigid posture. He wonders if she's always this tense or if corporate pressure has pushed her over the edge. As Tyler navigates the hallway to find the spill, he spots Luca stepping into a small side room labeled Staff Only. The bellhop leaves the door slightly ajar. Tyler can't help feeling curious, especially when he hears a muffled noise that sounds suspiciously like a cough or sniffle. He debates whether to follow, but remembers he's here to observe. He moves closer, mindful of not being seen. Peering through the narrow gap, he sees Luca slumped against a metal shelving unit stacked with spare linens. The bellhop is clutching his side, breathing heavily. Tyler's heart drops at the sight of silent tears glistening in Luca's eyes. He stops cold, his mind racing with questions. Is Luca injured? Sick? Or is something else happening? A second later, Luca straightens, wiping his face with the back of his hand as though steeling himself for the next round of duties. Tyler backs away, not wanting to invade the young man's privacy more than he already has. But now he's more certain than ever that Luca is carrying a burden well beyond typical job stress. He wonders if management has noticed, or if Victoria simply pushes him to keep up the appearance of efficiency. He cleans the coffee spill quickly and returns to the lobby to find the aforementioned VIP, a wealthy businessman, judging by his expensive luggage, checking in at the front desk, frustration etched on his face. "I requested a special pillow arrangement," the man complains. "This place better not disappoint me like the last hotel." Victoria, forced politeness in her voice, reassures him they'll handle every request. Then she snaps her fingers for Luca, who rushes over, bowing slightly. The VIP points to his luggage, demanding prompt service. Luca nods, though his face betrays flickers of exhaustion. He hoists the suitcases onto a luggage cart, grimacing slightly. Tyler's chest aches with concern, recalling the bellhop's shaky condition minutes ago. Before Luca leaves with the VIP, Tyler intercepts him gently. Need help carrying anything? Luca musters a half-hearted grin. Thanks, but I can manage. He glances at Victoria, who stands nearby, arms crossed, scanning for any sign of inefficiency. Luca then guides the businessman to the elevator. Tyler senses the manager's gaze shift to him, so he resumes sweeping the perimeter of the lobby. Soon after, the night descends into a steady hum of small tasks. Room service calls, requests for extra toiletries, the occasional front desk query. Tyler stays vigilant, searching for another chance to check on Luca. But the bellhop is constantly on the move. He does catch sight of Carol, who rubs the back of her neck and complains of too few breaks. Victoria overhears and curtly reminds her that corporate expects us to handle overnight housekeeping with fewer staff, leaving no room for argument. As 2 a.m. rolls around, Tyler's phone vibrates. He steps into a quiet corner and speaks softly to a trusted executive assistant. "Yeah, I'm here," he murmurs, making sure no one else hears. "Things are more serious than I thought. I've got employees struggling, a manager who's borderline harsh, and one bellhop who's definitely hiding something painful." He pauses, listening to the response. "Right. Keep my schedule clear tomorrow. I'm staying until I figure this out. And be ready for an emergency management review." "Thanks." He pockets his phone, steels himself, and heads up to the upper floors, claiming he needs to check for spills. On the 9th floor, the lights are dim, the hallway silent except for the hum of air conditioning. Tyler notices a door labeled linen storage. Inside, he hears hushed voices. Pressing his ear closer, he discerns Luca's trembling tone. "I swear, I'll pay the rest of the hospital bills soon. I just need a few more shifts." A gruff male voice, one of the older housekeeping staff, perhaps, responds sternly. "We all got problems, kid, but you can't keep pushing yourself like this. You look like you're about to collapse." Luca sighs. "I don't have a choice. My dad's in the ICU, and these shifts are all that stand between us and more debt." Tyler's heart drops again, the realization sinking in. Luca is grappling with medical bills for a loved one. That's why he looks exhausted, why he breaks down in quiet corners. Tyler slips away before they emerge, not wanting to reveal he overheard. But his resolve hardens. This has to be addressed. Back in the lobby, he watches Victoria chew out Zoe for forgetting to log an in-room dining charge. The manager's frustration boils over, voice echoing under the high ceilings. Zoe nearly bursts into tears but chokes it back, apologizing profusely. Tyler steps forward, gently placing a hand on Zoe's shoulder, but Victoria cuts him a glare that clearly says back off. He wonders if it's time to blow his cover or if he needs one more piece of evidence to confirm the environment is truly toxic. The final straw comes at 3 a.m. when the VIP guest storms back downstairs, complaining that his special pillow arrangement wasn't done to his exact specifications. He demands immediate change, ranting about incompetent service. Victoria summons Luca from the staff room, ignoring the young man's ashen face. "Luca," she hisses, "I don't care if you're on break. Fix this now, or you can kiss your job goodbye." Luca's eyes widen with anxiety. "Yes, ma'am." He tries to catch his breath, but Victoria holds up a hand, silencing him. The VIP crosses his arms, tapping a shiny dress shoe against the lobby's marble floor, glaring. Tyler can't remain silent. His chest tightens with anger at how Luca is being treated. He steps between them, broom still in his hand, posture firm. "Hold on," he says, softly but firmly. "He's just one person. Shouldn't we get housekeeping to assist so he doesn't collapse under the workload?" Victoria's eyes narrow. "Who do you think you are, stepping in? This isn't your concern, Ty. The VIP is waiting." Tyler takes a breath, glances around, and spots Carol, Zoe, and a few other night staffers watching anxiously. He can't ignore their pleading expressions. Enough is enough. He sets the broom aside and meets Victoria's gaze with steely resolve. You really want to know who I am? He says, letting his voice carry. My name is Tyler Grant. I own Grand Lincoln Hotel, and I've seen enough of how you treat the people who make this place run. A hush falls. Victoria's jaw drops while Luca nearly staggers backward, eyes darting with shock. Zoe puts a hand to her mouth and Carol stares as though she just witnessed an impossible magic trick. Even the VIP arches an eyebrow, confusion clouding his frustration. Tyler steps closer to Victoria, voice calm but edged with disappointment. I started here tonight to find out why we've had so many complaints. Now I see the night shift is understaffed and underappreciated. Employees are afraid of you. Guests are unhappy because we're pushing them aside in favor of checklists and demands. Victoria stammers, I had no idea. If I'd known. Tyler holds up a hand. The reason we do these undercover checks is to see how the hotel truly operates when no one's watching, and I'm horrified by your approach. Threatening to fire a bellhop who's already on the brink? Berating staff for minor errors? That's not the culture I built. The VP, eyes wide, steps back from the confrontation. Luca stands frozen, tears gathering in his eyes but not falling. Tyler turns to him gently. You were about to handle yet another impossible request, yes? He nods, throat constricting. All while juggling a family medical crisis. Tyler's voice softens, so only Luca and a few close staffers can hear. I'm sorry it took me so long to see this. Victoria's voice trembles. Sir, if I could explain. Tyler cuts her off. There's no justification for humiliating employees or ignoring their struggles. I built Grand Lincoln to be a place of warmth and hospitality for guests and staff alike. You've twisted that mission into something unrecognizable. He glances around at Carol and Zoe, who exchange hopeful looks. Effective immediately, you're relieved of your managerial duties, Ms. Parks. I'll be discussing further action with HR. A wave of shock ripples through the gathered employees. Victoria presses her lips together, color draining from her face. She swallows hard and nods once, seemingly aware she can't talk her way out of this. She walks away, shoulders stiff, disappearing into the back office. Tyler exhales, turning his gaze to Luca. The young bellhop stands there, trembling, relief and confusion battling in his expression. Tyler gestures for him to follow. They step aside to a quieter corner, near a decorative potted plant. I overheard you talking about hospital bills, Tyler says gently. I know it's personal, but if you're struggling, we have resources, employee support programs, emergency funds. I want you to have the help you need. Luca's voice cracks. I didn't want charity. I just need more hours, but I'm so exhausted. And Miss Parks, he trails off, face twisting with emotion. Tyler places a hand on his shoulder. This isn't charity, it's a responsibility we have to every staff member, Tyler replies. Grand Lincoln thrives because of people like you. You deserve management that respects your hardships. He drops his voice further. I promise we'll sort out a plan to get you the support you need. Luca's eyes fill with tears he finally lets fall. Thank you, he whispers, voice choked. Tyler nods, giving him a moment to breathe. Then, mindful of the watchful staff and even the VIP who stands off to the side in confusion, Tyler gestures for Carol and Zoe to join them. He addresses the group quietly but firmly. I'm sorry you had to endure that leadership style. Starting tonight, I'm revamping how we operate after dark. We'll bring in additional staff so no one is overworked. We'll also retrain supervisors on empathy and problem solving. Carol exhales a shaky sigh of relief. Zoe tentatively smiles. Luca wipes his cheeks, nodding gratefully. Tyler then turns to the VIP, who stands a few feet away, uncertain whether to stay or leave. Sir, I apologize for the inconvenience. We'll handle your pillow request immediately. But please understand that we value our employees' well-being as much as guest satisfaction. The VIP, somewhat mollified, lifts a hand. I appreciate honesty. I guess I got caught in the crossfire. If you can fix the pillow situation, I'd be grateful. Tyler nods, ushering Luca to assist with a calmer approach. By the time the VIP returns to the elevator, tension dissipates from the lobby. Tyler can almost feel the staff's collective sigh of relief. He calls everyone together, those who are free, for a quick huddle by the reception desk. "Thank you for your patience tonight," he begins, voice resonating in the quiet. "If you've watched this unfold, either in person or as someone behind the scenes, please keep an eye on how we evolve. We're committed to building a better environment, so if you want to see these changes in action, stay with us. We want your input and support. Like and subscribe if this were a video, right?" He chuckles lightly, trying to keep the tone uplifting despite the gravity of the situation. A few staff members laugh, the tension relieving a bit more. Carol steps forward. "I appreciate you stepping in, Mr. Grant. I thought we'd never see real change on this shift." Tyler smiles at her. "Call me Tyler, please. And I promise, this won't be lip service. We're scheduling extra help, reviewing pay scales, and making sure no one's forced to sacrifice their health to keep the place running." As the night rolls on, Tyler personally helps Zoe reorganize the front desk process, ensuring no more dreaded fiascos with late checkouts or unlogged charges. He checks on Luca periodically, offering him a quick break in the staff lounge, which the bellhop initially resists until Tyler insists. Over a bottle of water, Luca reveals more about his father's condition in the hospital. Tyler listens intently, already formulating a plan to connect Luca with the company's medical support resources. In the final hours before dawn, Tyler feels the weight of the night settling in. He's exhausted but invigorated. With Victoria gone, the atmosphere shifts to something calmer, more hopeful. Carol hums softly as she polishes glass doors. Zoe answers the phone with newfound cheer. Luca, though weary, looks less burdened. When 6 a.m. approaches, the early crew trickles in, surprised to find Tyler Grant, yes, the CEO, mopping up a spill near the coffee stand. He greets them with a friendly smile. "Morning! I have a lot to catch you up on." They exchange startled glances, gossip spreading quickly that the boss has been undercover all night. Tyler arranges a brief team meeting in the lounge, ensuring everyone understands that changes are coming. He outlines immediate steps, hiring at least 2 more overnight staff, implementing a gentler approach to supervision, and setting up a confidential hotline for employees who need help. Like Luca. The staff applaud quietly, relief plain on their faces. Finally, once the sun rises and guests wander in for breakfast, Tyler stows away his broom, removing his cap. He meets Luca near the lobby fountain. "Go get some rest," Tyler says with a kind smile. "Your shift is over. Tomorrow I'll have some paperwork for you to sign. Enrollment in our emergency fund, plus details on adjusting your schedule so you can handle family obligation." Luca's eyes well up with gratitude. "Thank you, sir. I don't know how to repay this." Tyler pats his shoulder. "Just keep being the dedicated employee you've always been. That's more than enough." Luca inclines his head respectfully, then heads out to catch a ride home. Shoulders lighter than they were all night. Tyler takes a seat in one of the plush lobby chairs, letting the soft morning light filter through the massive windows. He's dog-tired, but a deep satisfaction hums in his chest. This is why he built Grand Lincoln Hotel. To serve guests with a personal touch and treat employees with compassion. Somehow along the way, that vision got lost in the shuffle of spreadsheets and expansions. But tonight, he's reclaimed it. As a few staff pass by, he greets them warmly, promising an all-hands meeting soon. Carol lingers by the door, giving him a tiny wave. "Thanks again," she says quietly. "It means a lot to all of us." He nods, returning her warm gaze. Then he leans back, eyes drifting to the majestic chandelier overhead, recalling the hush of the night shift and the tension that once filled these corridors. He mentally vows never to. With a final look at the front desk, Zoe now smiling at a guest, Tyler pushes himself up. Exhaustion pulls at his limbs, but relief steadies him. He steps outside into the crisp morning air, stifling a yawn. The city skyline glows under the sunrise, and he pulls his phone from his pocket, calling his executive assistant once more. "Clear my schedule for the next week. I'm staying on site," he says. "We have a lot of rebuilding to do. Starting now." He hangs up, taking one last glance at the Grand Lincoln sign gleaming in gold letters above the entrance. The wind ruffles his hair, as though echoing a gentle promise of new beginnings. In his heart, he knows that behind each brand name, each polished lobby, and each corporate strategy, there are real people who keep everything running. Tonight, he's reminded that empathy and human connection matter more than any bottom line. Satisfied, he walks toward the staff parking area, fully prepared to lead by example until the Grand Lincoln regains the warmth it once promised. And if anyone doubts his resolve, he'll remind them of the night the Undercover CEO worked side by side with the Bellhop, the night he watched a secret unfold and discovered that sometimes one person's quiet struggle is enough to change an entire empire's priorities.